The number one way Americans are becoming millionaires. I'll share that with you, but it's also under attack at this very moment. I've got that and what you need to do about it coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. Timely, we're in March Madness season for basketball, and as I saw this article, we're going to get into in just a second, it reminded me of legendary coach for UCLA Bruins, John Wooden. They won back, 50 years ago or so. They won 10 NCAA national championships in men's basketball out of 12 years. Unprecedented, will never be done before, and obviously a lot of talented players, a very talented coach. And you'd like to think, okay, every year when he assembled the team, he picked the best of the best, and I'm assuming they just were, working on these unusual plays and had a strategy that was second to none, and defenses couldn't stop it. Well, that may be true, but if you're familiar with the legend, do you remember how they started their first practice every season? Tying their shoes. That's right. John Wooden, in all of his, mastermind, he would spend the first practice working on how you lace up tennis shoes, how you should arrange your socks, really. And if you think, well, that's ridiculous, this guy must have been crazy. No, it was how important your feet are and taking care of your feet. If you trip or if you're on your feet and you develop blisters because you don't have your socks right or your shoes right. I mean, there was a method to the madness, but I imagine as these best basketball players from across the country go and join their team and first are taught about how to tie their shoes, that's got to feel ridiculous. But truly, it is the little things that matter. And the same is true in your finances. The little things end up making a big difference. And if you want a big difference, if you want a big result, you do have to focus on the little things and do those little things right. Not sure if you saw this article. Headline certainly caught my attention. And I've seen this study before, but it talks about, it's from Morningstar, the number one way or the primary way that Americans become millionaires. If you've ever thought of this, it's the outliers that are the ones that really get the most attention. Someone had a tech startup or a brilliant idea or some other unique event caused them to accumulate massive wealth in just a short amount of time. Guys, those are the outliers. Take a look at this chart. At the end of last year, just at Fidelity, one of the largest 401k and investment providers out there, just at Fidelity, it broke a record. More people with $1 million in their Fidelity accounts than ever before. And it shouldn't be a surprise. This is after a fantastic stock market in 23 and in 24 as well. But the article goes on to say, patience and discipline are easily understood, but they're hard to put into practice, especially with investing, right? One could easily argue that these two traits are among the most important factors that determine long-term investment success. The number one way Americans become millionaires isn't through timely real estate purchases or investing in early startups. The formula is much simpler. Consistent buying, usually in the form of automatic contributions from every paycheck into a retirement account. We want it to be more difficult than that. We want it to, what's the secret? What's the missing ingredient? Well, there likely are going to be some important strategies that you need to employ. But on top of this discipline, and so this is the blocking and tackling in your financial life, the consistent saving and the long-term approach helps more Americans than anything else, than any other habit or approach or strategy become millionaires. And you might say, not exciting, I already knew that, and Mike, you talk about that all the time. But this article, that's where I'm going to stop with the article, because the article goes on to say, oftentimes people get distracted though, and people try to get higher returns and 3 times leverage, and talks about all the risks with that and shares a couple examples of how that has not worked out recently. I would take a different approach. Yes, there are people that are trying to they're taking extra outsized risk to try to elevate their balances. I think the bigger approach or the bigger threat to working that formula is under attack right now, and that is volatility in the stock market. It scares some people out of continuing to apply this discipline. We haven't seen it in a couple of years. I've shared the kind of the annual statistics about volatility and how we didn't see anywhere close to those averages in 24 and 23, likely to see it here in 25, and we are. And so now it's sort of gut check time. Are you going to consistently save up, just like this discipline suggests and requires, during good times, but also bad? I think the bigger danger isn't that in good times you're going to get speculative, but it's rather that in bad times you're going to get cautious and you're going to stop and you're going to say, I won't start again until things look safer. This is one of the reasons why you need a certified financial planner on your team. Yes, they're going to come up with strategies. Yes, they're going to do analysis, and they're going to help shed some light on some things that you weren't aware were connected and some strategies that you need to implement. But they're also going to coach you through good times, but certainly, most importantly, through bad times, okay? That's one of the reasons why you need a CFP. And if I could coach you right now, I would share just 3 reminders about staying the course and staying consistent through market volatility. Number 1, you are buying shares, not dollars. You are buying shares, not dollars. Again, this habit, the number 1 way Americans become millionaires is that consistent saving into their retirement accounts every single paycheck. So as you do, you're putting dollars in, but you're buying shares. Don't focus on the dollars, focus on the shares. Second, you're buying more shares when prices actually go down. Yes, you're still investing $1,000 out of every paycheck or whatever going into your 401k, but that $1,000 or $500 or $2,000, whatever it is buying more shares when the prices are lower, and those shares are what count. And then finally, reminder number 3, it's the dollars that you invest into the shares at depressed prices that are the ones that work the hardest for you. I'm not going to share the chart right now. I've shared it several times before, but just looking back over the past 15 years or so and the years contributions, which years contributions saw the greatest gain in your retirement accounts, in your investments? And yes, it's 08 and 09. It's 2020, it's 2018, it's 2022. Those years when you don't want to invest, when you look backwards, those are the dollars that grew the most for you. Those are the shares that grew the most for you. And so those are the ones that are going to be working the hardest. Therefore, work with a certified financial planner. Make sure that you're doing comprehensive financial planning, looking at all 6 areas of your financial life. Have the right investment strategies that's playing offense and defense right now. That's critically important. And then stay the course. Stay the course towards your financial goals. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can always contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.